Hey guys, today I'll be answering this question of you've left that abusive relationship, and then now you're like, next time I go back to the dating scene, I'll be very, very careful. Like, even will yourself, like, I swear. Some friends have told that to me that I swear, Edwin, I will be very, very careful now. I will be so scrutinizing the red flags. Like, if I see a small red flag, I will leave immediately. If I see someone calling me something, I'll just step away and leave. I'll be very, very careful. So you really, really feel that being careful is the best way to go. So is it really enough to be just careful on a conscious level, and then that keeps you from toxic relationships? Careful here can also mean that I now know all the red flags. You might have the 41, I think it's the 41 checklist of narcissists or something, or you might have a list of red flags even printed in your bedroom. Then you're like, as long as a person doesn't match these red flags, then that's a very, very good relationship. So is it really enough? On a logical level, actually, it has some aspect of, yeah, it can be enough. Because if you see someone who's actually, let's say, love bombing you initially, or someone who things doesn't make sense, like they're complaining all the time, or someone who isolates you from your friends or wants you to change, and then you've not even started dating, you might really, of course, turn those people down as early as possible. Let's say in your first date, you see that this person is actually lying to me, then you're like, nah, this person is a red flag. Yes, logically, those understanding red flags, especially in the other stage, can help you, because it means that you will not be overly invested. That's the word, overly invested in the relationship, so you can leave. So that's the careful which can help you. But something you need to understand is this: it's not actually about being careful, because when you are careful, or when you're overly careful, it means that you're also overly careless. It's the opposite. Because let me give you a small analogy. Have you ever tried carrying, let's say, a cup of tea, and then you are so looking at it, and then you're like, I don't want to spill this tea, I don't want to spill this tea. The moment you look at it, you realize that actually you spilled it over, because you are overly invested in looking at the tea. You're not even looking at where you are stepping. That makes sense. Like, when you are so careful, you are operating from a point of fear. You are not sure of yourself. You are not sure if you will attract a toxic relationship or not. So the same thing about being overly careful after leaving an abusive relationship. When you are overly careful, overly vigilant, overly scrutinizing, it means that on a deeper level, the communication is, I am not really sure of myself. And that's how toxic people get you. This is because a toxic person can even read those red flags, and then in the initial stages of your dating, they may project this outside image of someone who doesn't have red flags. And then, because you see yourself as someone who's so careful, once you see that this person doesn't have red flags, you'll end up overly investing in the person, because you are like, now this is okay. Then you end up overly investing. And then the more you overly invest in a relationship, or just any investment, you'll want to keep the investment. So the more you keep going, the more you'll start seeing some red flags in your list, and then you'll also push that list aside now, because you'll be like, nah, this is okay. This is not such a red flag. This is not. I think people normally can say this. She's not that much of a manipulative. If they just improve that one thing, they'll be a very good partner to have in a relationship. That's how we normally make excuses for wanting to stay in a relationship. We just say, like, if they change this thing, then you end up staying there 5 years, 10 years, and then you find yourself in the same spot. So it's not about being overly careful, it's about being sure on a deeper level, like understanding yourself on a deeper level, understanding when people take advantage of you, understanding that you deserve a better life. And that goes far beyond just red flags, because red flags is something happening in the conscious mind. It's something which you are consciously aware, but on an unconscious level, on the level where, or on the level where, like, it's been or on this level where you've been stuck in a loop, or in this negative pattern of attracting an unhealthy relationship. That level never really goes away with just reading red flags or just being careful is still there. So that level is what dictates most of your life. And that's the subconscious part of your mind. It's where all those patterns you've gotten used to. So you might really see someone and then be careful, but you'll end up minimizing or rationalizing, because to the mind it feels that the best or the safest space for you is a relationship where you are not treated well, because it goes in alignment with what you deeply believe about yourself. So unless you break free from these negative beliefs, you will end up unconsciously attracting another toxic relationship again, even if you are careful, because you'll end up either minimizing or watering down some of the red flags, or the person will put on this image of zero red flags, and then you'll end up over investing because you are still desperate for love, you're still desperate for validation, desperate for admiration, or desperate for to really feel loved or cared for by someone. When you're desperate, being careful will not be enough. So it's about breaking free from these things on a deeper level, guys. It's not about just being overly careful, like having a list when you're going to date. No, when you're having a list and all those things, it means that you are still operating from fear. Like, these are the fears you need to work on before even thinking about another relationship. Without working on these fears, the same fear will lead you to another unhealthy relationship. So break free from the fears, and then you'll be so sure of yourself to the point where you can't even see a red flag without even blinking an eye, because you just feel that actually this person, there's something which doesn't add up. So now is when your intuition kicks in. Hope that makes sense, guys. Overly careful, not enough. Go on a deeper level and work on breaking free from those negative patterns or negative thought patterns you've collected because of your past abusive or past unhealthy relationships. Until next time, have a wonderful day.